to stay standing and raise your right hand, and I'm going to ask you, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
You can have a seat. Put yourself comfortable. Can you start by stating and spelling your first and last name for the record?
Mark Reed, M-A-R-K-R-E-E-D.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
A little nervous?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us where you're currently living?
In Bristol.
And how long have you lived there?
Not that long.
How long if you had to guess?
Like a couple months.
Okay. Where were you living before Bristol?
The motel.
Okay. Was that also in Bristol?
No, it was in Ashland.
How about before that?
Before that, I was staying with a friend, and before that, I was in prison.
Okay. Were you in prison here in New Hampshire?
Yeah, Concord.
Concord. Why were you in prison?
Because I got arrested in Franklin, and I went to jail, and then something happened there. I got a new charge there. It was conspiracy to commit theft by extortion.
Okay.
And then that's when I went to prison.
You were convicted, obviously, if you were in
Yeah.
prison? Did you go to trial, or did you accept responsibility?
No, I took the deal.
Okay. Silly question, but was prison a good experience for you?
No, I hated it. But I mean, I learned my lesson.
Have you made lifestyle changes since release?
Yeah, I'm sober. I'm trying to get my own apartment, my license back, car, trying to do everything. It's just, it's rough.
Is it a constant struggle for you?
Oh, yeah.
When you said you're sober, when did that change happen?
When I went to prison.
So that's what it took for you to become sober?
Yeah.
When did you go to prison?
It was October 10th, 2020. No, wait, sorry. I went to jail that day. I went to prison, I think it was March or April or something like that.
Of 20?
20, yeah.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Mm-hmm.
When I asked you, you said you currently live in Bristol. Who do you live with?
My mom and my grandmother and my brother.
So I want to turn your attention to back in 2019, specifically between June 2019 and November 2019. Where were you at in life back then?
I was a drug addict, selling drugs, doing drugs, anything really to make money. Didn't have anywhere to live. Was homeless. It was a bad time.
It was a bad time. When you say you were doing anything to make money, was that to support your you said you were a drug addict, to support your addiction?
Yeah.
How were you making money?
Selling drugs, selling guns, anything to get my hands on.
Sorry, let me back up. I want to unpack all of that. When you say you were addicted to drugs, what drugs were you using back then?
Heroin, meth, Xanax, Klonopins, anything.
And when you say you were selling drugs, what drugs were you selling?
Heroin, meth, mostly those two.
Heroin and meth.
Mm-hmm.
You also said you would sell firearms?
Yeah.
And can you explain that for me?
Well, I knew different people that I can get them from, and I did. I got them cheap, and I knew other people that would take them, and I would flip them because there's quick money in it.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Are you okay with me calling you Mark?
Yeah.
So back then in 2019, were you able to legally possess a firearm?
Yeah.
How about now?
No.
And is that because of your conviction?
Yeah, I'm a felon.
And you said you could buy firearms for cheap and then just offload them?
Yeah.
Was that easy money?
Mm-hmm.
So back in that time frame that we talked about, did you know someone named Adam Montgomery?
Yeah.
How did you know him?
Well, I first met him. He hit me up on Facebook saying that we went to high school together, and then we like hung out once. And I don't know. After that, I realized I never met him. I never went to high school with him. And after that, we just started talking more. Before I figured out I didn't know him, we talked more and just started like making plans to do things to make money and hanging out and shit.
So I'm going to ask you to move a little closer. There's a microphone right in front of you to your left.
Oh yeah.
And just I want to make sure that everything you say is being picked up.
All right.
So if I heard correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, he reached out to you via Facebook saying you went to high school together? Okay. And then you said you hung out?
Yeah.
Okay. How often would you hang out with the defendant?
Not that much. I think in total like 3 times, 4 times, something like that. It was not a lot.
Did the two of you have a drug connection?
What do you mean?
Did you do drugs together?
Yeah.
What drugs would you do?
Meth. I would do heroin by myself, but he would do meth with me.
In those limited actual face-to-face interactions you had with him, did you ever have an overnight with him, like spend the night in the same place as him?
Yeah, one time.
So sorry, I don't want you to elaborate on that.
Oh, okay.
A yes or no. Thank you. Did you conduct regular business transactions with the defendant?
Yes.
On one occasion, did he offer to sell you his family pet?
Yes.
And had you met that pet before?
Yes.
So I mentioned Adam Montgomery. Do you see him in the courtroom here today?
Yeah.
Can you point to him and identify an article of clothing he's wearing?
A white shirt.
And can the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant?
The record shall so reflect.
Did you ever visit the defendant's home?
Yes.
And was that here in Manchester?
Yes.
Do you remember the address?
I think it was 70-something Guilford Street or something.
Do you remember who he was living with at the time?
There was the dog, and there was the Kayla, right? I think that's her name, Kayla, something like that. And the kid.
Okay. And when you say you think Kayla, was that an adult or a child?
An adult.
Was that the defendant's partner, or do you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And so how many times did you go to his address on Guilford Street?
I think it was once or twice.
And during those 2 occasions, was there anyone else there?
I think he said one, and he said during those 2 occasions, so I think misstating the facts.
What did you, Councilor Pro Tem? The objection is sustained. You may rephrase the questions.
So again, Mark, if you can move that mic actually closer to you so counsel can hear.
Yeah.
You said, did you say you went there once or twice or just once?
Once or twice.
Okay. The times that you went there, were there any other individuals at the home?
Just Kayla and the baby.
Okay. So you mentioned the defendant reaching out to you on Facebook back then,
Yeah.
saying you went to school together. Was that the primary mechanism that he used to reach out to you?
Yeah.
Did you have a working phone at the time?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But it was Facebook Messenger that we're
Yeah.
talking about? Okay.
Yes? Yes, you may.
So, Mr. Reed, I'm handing you what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 34, and I'm just going to ask you to take a look at that. And you can go through it. Just look up when you're done.
All right.
Okay. Do you recognize what that is?
Yeah.
And what is it?
Messages between us on Facebook.
Okay. And can you do me a favor and turn to the last page? And so the bottom message on that page, if you can look at the left, the box to the left,
Yep.
there should be a number.
1131.
Okay. Would it surprise you that you exchanged back and forth 1,131 messages with the defendant?
That is a lot. That is a surprise.
And what was the date of that last message?
4/7/2020.
Okay. And if you can flip back to the first page. The first message, what was the date on it?
It was 7/1/2019.
So you can set that aside. Sorry, are those the messages you exchanged with the defendant?
Yes.
You can set that aside. I want to go back. You said you were in prison at one point in 2020. Were you approached by police officers in relation to this case at some point?
Yes.
And during that interaction with them, did you consent to the search of your electronic devices, specifically your phone and your Facebook account?
Yes.
Judge May.
Yes?
Okay, and have you had an opportunity to compare that with the messages that you still have?
Yes.
And let me back up. All those messages that I just showed you, the over 1,100, are those still on your phone?
Yeah.
Still on your Facebook account?
Yes.
Okay. And is that the items that I just handed you? Is that a fair and accurate representation of the messages that you exchanged between back and forth with the defendant between September 25th, 2019, and October 4th rather of 2019?
Yes.
Same messages.
Yes.
So at this point, Judge, I would. At this point, Your Honor, I'd move to strike the identification and author's both.
Any objection?
Maybe for no objection to
35?
35.
The idea is stricken on Exhibit 35. It's entered as a full exhibit.
You still have the exhibit, Mark?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask that you read the first message on the first page. It should be in the top right.
I miss you too, Doug. I wish you were. Should I like say what it said, bleeped out, or just read the F?
So is there a redaction in part of the message?
Yeah. I know what it's supposed to say, but it doesn't say it.
That's fine. You can just say F.
All right. I miss you too, Doug. I wish you were F close the case, 'cause I'd be there every day. I mean, dude, even Tilton's a effing haul. I mean, a effing hour drive from where I'm at right now, bro. You F 45 minutes north of there, so it's like I want to come up there and kick it and S, bro, but I don't get the bread, bro. Me and my wife and my kids about to be out of the house in like 2 weeks, bro. So I'm trying to save up the F bread right now, hopefully to get us a place to go, bro. Like, if you can make me some F plays, do make me any place, bro, like, and I'll come out there, and then I would like to come out for like a stick, but you make me some place, dog, and I'll come out.
And what's the date associated with that message that you just read?
It's 9/25/2019.
Okay. And so it sounds like the defendant is, and that's from the defendant to you?
Yes.
Okay, and it says incoming?
Yep.
Okay. It sounds like the defendant is describing being kicked out of their.
Sustained.
The defendant mentions bread.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Money.
So I need money?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The ID is stricken. They're entered as full exhibits.
Judge, may I approach the witness?
Yes, you may.
So Mark, I'm handing you what's been marked for admitted as State's exhibits 8 through 17. And I'm just going to ask you to take a look at those. And look up when you're done. Hold on. Do you recognize those exhibits?
Yes.
What are they?
They're messages from my phone on Facebook between me and Adam.
Okay. And are those fair and accurate photographs of the messages that were on your phone?
Yes.
Do you recognize the phone that's in those?
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
mine.
yours?
Yeah.
And Your Honor, at this point, I'd ask to publish.
Yes, you may.
Okay, and starting with the first image that I handed you, Mark, if you could just describe what's depicted.
He's telling me where he lives and that he can come to me, but I don't know.
And so that address that's mentioned there, the 77 Guilford Street, is that where you met the defendant?
Yes.
Moving to the next. There was a phone number that was provided. Is that a phone number that you would use to communicate with the defendant?
Yeah.
I'm skipping to 2. And so this is the October 3rd, 2019 at 10:26. And if you could just read that communication, starting with the first bubble, looks like a call.
Says you missed a call from messenger user.
Okay, and the next one?
Your Mark hit me up, dog. I got something you really going to like. You got to hit me up now ASAP.
Sorry, just a sec. So the person that's writing, I got something you're really going to like, is that an incoming? So is that you that wrote that, or is that someone else?
No, that's somebody else wrote to me.
Okay. And this is your communication with the defendant?
Yeah.
All right. And if you can go on to the next message.
You got to hit me up ASAP. You going to miss out on it, bro. If you don't hit me up now, you should girls phone something and call. You missed a call from messenger user. 603-858-333.
Okay, so the individual is providing you some phone numbers. Okay, you can go on to the next exhibit. And if you could just read the exhibit number that you're on.
12.
12? Okay, and so you can read 12.
Well, then you're gonna miss out, 'cause I'm not messaging this shit. What the fuck, bro? Come on. There's a house phone there. You guys have cell phones up there. You guys have some type of service. Bro, Facebook is too choppy and it's too notch. I don't need shit like, S like this on messages and then Facebook. Dog, you got. Okay, buddy, I called you first because I called you first because I know you were going. I don't know what it says underneath that one. Going something like this. I can't read what it says underneath that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Scratch.
Let's go to the next message.
All right. There's no way you can call. Just let me know that because I don't want to sit here and keep playing this game. I got 100 other people that be looking for a dog.
All right, let's go to 13.
How much I want. That's from me.
So you wrote how much I want?
Yeah.
And what was the response to that?
He said, which one do you want? Both of them or which one? And I said, price of each.
So at the top of that exhibit, 13, it looks like there's some other messages. Or how much I want.
I mixed it up.
It's okay. Okay. You've reviewed those, they're fair and accurate?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to turn back to the Exhibit 35 that I handed you. And I'm looking at page 2. And the top of page 2, if you can start with the incoming message, Al, then you're going to miss out.
Yeah. Well, then you're gonna miss out because I'm not messaging this S. And then I put, what the F, bro? Come on. There's a house phone there. You guys have cell phones up there. You guys have some type of service. Bro, Facebook is too choppy and it's too notch. I don't need S like this on messages and then Facebook, dog. You got. Okay, buddy, I called you first. Yeah, I called you first because I know you were going to want this, but there's no way you can call. Just let me know that because I don't want to sit here and keep playing this game. I got 100 other people that be looking for a dog.
Okay, and then is there a call after that? An incoming call?
Yeah.
Okay, and if you can go to the next message.
Alright. It will, don't ask me for this S later on, bro, because you're slacking right now. I have something right now that you've been looking for a grip, bro. Hit me up ASAP. And then I write, yo, if it's metal, I want it.
And let me stop you right there. What does that mean? You wrote that. If it's metal, I want it. What does that mean?
Guns.
Guns? Okay. If you can go to the next message.
Sir, I'm just going to ask you to please keep your voice up. It's a big room and everybody needs to hear you.
Alright, sorry. It is, bro. It's the big boys. How much?
If you can flip to the next page and continue.
I can't hold it. First come, first serve. Damn, bro. Unsent.
You write in damn, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's 3 unsent messages.
Okay, and let's talk about that. Those are incoming messages
Yes.
that were unsent.
Yeah.
What were they?
Pretty sure they were the pictures.
Pictures of what?
The pump and the AR
Okay, the pump and the AR. And when you say the pump, what does that mean?
shotgun.
Okay, so pump action shotgun,
The 12 gauge, yeah.
12 gauge. Can you describe the pictures to the best of your recollection?
Ugh. All I remember is that the 12 gauge had something special on it. That's why he wanted more for it and not what I offered him. I don't know. I know it was black. I can't really remember much.
Were the photos, were the firearms that you just referenced, were they resting on something or being held?
I think they were resting on something.
Let's go to the next message after the unsent photographs.
How much?
You can continue. So you wrote how much?
Yeah. And then I want. And then he put, which one do you want? Both of them or which one? And then I put price of each. And then again, unsent message.
Do you recall what that unsent message was of?
I don't.
Okay. Let's go to the next message.
But we can work something out. What's some other S? This is why I need you to call me.
And that was from the defendant?
Yeah. But I literally have people blowing me up right now as we speak. But you, my dude, so I called you first. And then there's just a bunch of zeros.
So there's a phone call, it appears?
Yeah.
And that's an incoming phone call?
Yeah.
If you can flip to the next page and continue reading.
I want the 12 gauge, but I don't got 3V.
And let me stop you there. 3V, what does that mean?
I think it was 3 sticks at the time.
And what do you, when you say 3 sticks, what does that mean?
A stick is 10 grams of dope.
Of dope?
Yeah.
And sorry, again, just another
Heroin.
detail. What is dope?
Heroin.
Heroin.
Yeah.
So 3 sticks of heroin?
Mm-hmm.
And how much is a stick?
It all depends where you go and who you get it from. But usually like $200.
Sorry, not the price, but the quantity. Do you know the
10 grams.
10 grams.
Yeah. So that'd been 30 grams for
30
3
grams.
sticks.
And you can continue reading.
All right. Cause 8 gotta pick up and down. I'll take it. How much? I'll take a stick for the pump, but I also need like $80 cash. So let me know.
And so those were from the defendant. I'll take it. I'll take a stick for the pump.
Sustained.
The messages that you just read, are those incoming or outgoing?
Incoming.
And so you left off, so let me know. You can continue.
Yep. Cause if not, so what's the deal, bro? Cause I can't wait around all day. Is this a yes and no, maybe so? What's going on? And then I put, I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. And does it continue?
Yep. Hi, man. I mean, if you get to me first, then awesome. But you're trying to figure it out, so that's basically saying no, or that you don't have it. So I told you, buddy, I can't wait around with it, bro. So I mean, if you hit me up before anybody else does, then it's yours. But if somebody else comes here with the bread, then I got to take. Cause we need the bread ASAP, bro. We're about to be kicked out of my any day now house.
And I think you mentioned earlier, but bread refers to money.
Yeah.
You can go to the next page.
Yo. And then after that, there's a bunch of, it's incoming call. And then again, yo.
And that's an incoming? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that incoming?
Yep.
And the next
then-
message?
What?
The next message?
It says, you missed out.
And is that incoming or outgoing?
It's incoming.
Okay.
And now it's outgoing. I said, can you send a pic? And then again for me, yo.
Okay, the you missed out is incoming though?
Yeah.
So you can set those aside. When you would communicate with the defendant via this Facebook account, how would you know that you were communicating with the defendant?
Well, because when I'm talking to him, it's like when I'm talking to anybody else. If you know who you're talking to, or if you talked to that person before, it doesn't matter how they say it. Like, you don't have to hear their voice to know it's them. Just the words they say and how they use their words. Plus, later on in some of the messages, I was talking to Kayla, and she wrote her name, and the way she writes, you can tell the two apart.
Okay, did he have a particular way of speaking or referring to you?
Yo, dog.
Does anyone else call you that?
No.
When you would arrange to meet with the defendant, who would arrive?
Huh?
When you would arrange meetups with the defendant, who would arrive?
Him.
Okay. Not Kayla?
No.
I think you testified that you still have the communication on your phone
Yes.
and in your Facebook account.
Yes.
Do you still have the same Facebook account?
Yes.
And how about the, how about the profile that you communicated with?
That I was talking to.
Is it still in existence?
It's I think it's deactivated, but it's still on mine. Like, I can see everything there. Just there's no name now.
There's no name now.
Yes.
Back when you communicated with that account, was there a name?
Yes.
What was the name?
Adam Montgomery.
Did you want to purchase the firearms?
I mean, I did, yeah, but I didn't end up doing it.
Did you want to purchase both or just one?
Just one.
Was that the shotgun?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. They're easier to get rid of.
I could have just a moment. One of the messages that you read aloud mentioned Facebook being two-notch. Do you know what that means?
I assume that it's like
Hold on 1 minute. Basis? Go ahead. You may answer the question.
all right. I'd assume that it's like it's
Objection. Now the answer is,
Approach. Sustained. You may rephrase the question.
Mark, do you know what that means? Two-notch? Facebook's two-notch?
it's too smart. Like it's